Hello friends, I'm Tim WIldsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the ESV Treveris from Schuyler Bibles. Okay, it's time to do a full review of the ESV Treveris from Schuyler Bibles. I've already done one video with this, an unboxing and first impressions, which was a lot of fun, but now I want to take you through it and show you all the different specs, all the different features of this Bible that make it unique, different from the other stuff in Schuyler's line, but also some of the consistency that you get from them, which is really impressive with Schuyler. Just they're always going to look great, feel great, best materials. You know that you're getting a high quality Bible from Schuyler, so I wanted to show this to you. So my goal is to help you find a Bible that's right for you. And if the Treveris is a good fit for you, this video will help you see all the different specs and kind of help you determine if you're ready to purchase one of these. So this is a beautiful Bible. They've done an excellent job. It's an English Standard Version Treveris. The Treveris is already a design that they have in the KJV. Now they're adding it in the ESV. It kind of complements their Quentel line, which is really cool. So a little bit smaller, there's a lot of things. It's got the full app. There's a lot of things that I like about this. So I won't talk anymore. I'll dive right into it. This is the ESV Treveris from Schuyler Bibles. Okay, taking a look at the box, they're using these clamshell boxes, which is really nice. It comes wrapped in this paper. You get a little business card from them. On the outside it says ESV Treveris dark green goat skin. Looks really sharp. Schuyler Bibles, very simple, very clean. There's the Jerusalem cross logo. And there's the Bible itself. This is the dark green goat skin. Look at this. Such a great texture, really pebbly goat skin. You do see that they have done a full yap on all of the ESV Treveris Bibles that they came out with. Looks really sharp. I love with the full yap they're doing the tooled line as well as the perimeter stitch all the way around the out. That just looks so sharp all the way around. This is a great piece of goat skin. There's the Jerusalem cross logo on the front. On the spine you get raised spine hubs and it says Holy Bible, English Standard Version, and Schuyler. And there you see we do get three. This one is green ribbons to match. Now some people have noticed, they noticed in the video that I did, you can kind of see like a little bit of a line right there. And I reached out to Schuyler and asked about this. I can see that there, it's because there's a shape there, the light kind of hits it. You can kind of see it's about a ½ strip. And I reached out to them, they said that they have what's called an Oxford hollow down here to support the spine, and that it overlaps in there. There you can see it a little bit more. It overlaps in there, and that's where it overlaps. And they think that over time that will kind of fade a little bit, but it's the goat skin pressing into that Oxford hollow which supports the spine. So that's not a flaw or anything, that's what it's like. And actually, I brought in a couple other Schuyler Bibles. So like this is my other most recent. You can see it on that one. See how the color, the light there? This is the CSB Quentel. And you can actually feel it. If I close my eyes, I can feel that in there a little bit more than I can actually see it on this one. Or even this is an older version of my NIV PSQ. And again, when I press on that, I can feel that overlap in there. So I think that some people have noticed this on these a little bit, but I spoke to Schuyler, it doesn't affect anything. It's actually showing strength in the spine. And honestly, when I look at it from certain angles, I can't see it at all. So I didn't really notice it right away, but looks good to me. I mean, I think it's really well constructed and stuff like that. So around the outside, again, just a really great look and feel to this Bible overall. It really shines. As I said in the intro, they just have such consistent quality on the exteriors of their Bibles. As far as size goes, this Bible is, because of the full yap, let me bring in the Quentel. It looks almost as big as the Quentel. You can see it's not quite as wide, but because of the full yap, you can see it's not nearly as big. So if I pull this out there, it's 8.5 inches tall and 5.5 inches wide. So it's about 1/4 of an inch smaller on either side, or 1/2 inch smaller on either side. It's really, I've joked around, not really, I wrote an article on my website called The Case for the MIDSIZE Quentel, and I'd really love to see a Quentel that's, actually this is 5.5 by 8.5. I'd love to see like 5.25 by 8.25 Quentel, so it'd be somewhere between the PSQ and the Quentel. I think that would be really great to have a mid-size Quentel, but really great. I would call this mid-size on the way to a larger size, but you see the pleated corners in there that they do on these full yaps. The nice leather liners with the gold gild line. Just everything about this from the outside, from the look and the feel of it, it's absolutely stunning. Now, opening it up, We get in here, we get some presentation pages, family records, deaths, marriages, births, the Holy Bible, English Standard Version containing the Old and New Testaments. This is the Treveris. So here's the copyright page, information from Crossway and the ESV translation. Then you get down here, you see typesetting by 2K Denmark, printed and bound by Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands, the French paper. This is the Treveris edition, and there's Schuyler's information from here in the USA. Beautiful Bible. You get the table of contents. There's a note here, an introduction from Schuyler about the Treveris. There's the preface to the ESV translation about the different aspects of the ESV. And then you get right into the Old Testament. This one has a little bit of a stiff hinge, but you can see it still lays pretty flat. It's a thicker Bible. Oh, I didn't tell you, it's about 1.5 inches thick with the cover. But it's going to lay pretty flat. I'm going to open this up just so you can kind of see the full breadth of it. I want to get somewhere that's not poetry first. So here I have the marker there. So here we are in 2 Chronicles. So you see it is single column, paragraph format. And what you're going to notice right away is that the verse numbers and the chapter numbers are all over here in the margins. So it's kind of a reader format. When you look at that text, there are no references to footnotes, to cross-references. There are no verse numbers in the midst of the actual paragraph. All you get over there is the verse numbers out here on the side of the page. There's your chapter number. And then you get little section headings appear up in the header. So normally where you'd see a section header above a new paragraph or something like that in the text, you get that up here. This is your location. You get a page number at the bottom. So that's the entire text. So it's kind of a hybrid reader format. You get the uncluttered look of the reader format where you just get to read straight through kind of paragraph style. It looks more like a novel than it does a typical Bible, but you also still get the verse numbers and some of the section headings. They put some of that stuff in there. I like that because sometimes one of the things with readers is as you're reading them, you get a little bit lost and you don't know where you are in the text. So this kind of gives you those reference points along the way so you can keep up with that. I like that a lot. You can see that they do use drop caps at the beginning of every chapter of the Bible. I was wondering if they were going to do that. They did it for the King James Version Treveris, and it looks really pretty, but it's definitely kind of a vintage, old school look. And so for a translation like ESV, that was an interesting choice for them to keep that, but I actually think I like it. I think I like that it keeps the Treveris line consistent. As far as the ESV translation goes, it really says, hey, there's a nod to the history and the legacy and kind of the lineage of the KJV that the ESV comes from, as from the RSV and the ASV and that sort of thing. I think it would be weird to have a Treveris with the New Living Translation with that. That probably wouldn't work, but I think it does work for this. As far as the setup of the page goes, it's a 10-point font. This is not the Milo font that they use in the Quentel. It's slightly thicker. It's a little bit more bolded. It's got a little bit more of a vintage look to it. Again, it kind of goes with that vibe that they were going for with the drop caps. But it looks really sharp. It's a 10-point font. It's easy to read. You can see there that it's line matched. This is 28 GSM paper. I had somebody ask a question on the unboxing video if this was less opaque than other Schuylers, and I checked, and I don't think it is. I do think that sometimes because it's a single column typesetting and the words go across the page, there's more gaps, particularly in places of poetry, for you to see what's on the other side of the page. But I don't notice a difference in the opaqueness of the paper from this to some of my other more recent Schuyler's, or even some of the older ones I have that are 28 GSM paper. I think their paper is very consistent all the way around. So 10-point font. I don't know the name of the font, that's why I didn't say it. I don't know what it's called. But 10-point font, line matched, 28 GSM paper. I mentioned the ornamental drop caps and how they have the verse numbers out here in the margins as well as the chapter numbers up there. You get some of these red accents on the page. Obviously you get red under gold art gilding that looks really sharp, just what Schuyler's known for. So you have this single column paragraph format, but then when you get to sections of poetry or to quotations and things like that, I'm going to get into the Psalms just so we can kind of see the way it looks. They've done what's called a block indented verse by verse format. So it goes to verse by verse, and then they've block indented. Where block indenting is, they have somebody, a designer, a person has gone through and done line breaks at all of these places. So sometimes you see Bibles where the poetry will be, it'll start here, and then there'll be a half indentation on the next line, and then there'll be a hanging word that's off by itself. They've gone through, and I'm sure this took a lot of work, they've gone through and done all of the line breaks so that this looks clean, so that it's easy and comfortable to read, so that it flows really well. And that's kind of the whole idea of this reader style format, is that it's easy to read, easy to immerse yourself in the text. A lot of times when you do line by line like this through the Psalms, a lot of times it can be a little choppy. This just looks really, really clean. I love that, don't you? I mean, it's very simple, it's very clean. And they've obviously put a lot of work into making sure this looks good, and I really like that. And so there's actually more poetry in the Bible than you probably think there is. And so this actually represents a lot of different sections of Scripture and prophecy and quotations from different parts of other books and things like that. So it's really, really nice. I like that a lot. You see some here in the New Testament, but they've done the same thing in some of these quotations. But it's still black letter in the New Testament. It kind of keeps this same format throughout, so it's very consistent. You don't get cross-references. You're not getting textual footnotes. It's really making the text the center, but still they're giving you these helps with the verses and things like that in the margins. Looks really great. It's like it's got its own kind of identity, which I think is really cool. Like, you'll know once you get used to the Treveris, you'll know when you're looking at the Treveris. When we get to the end of the Bible, even though they've taken out a lot of the standard things, they still give you an ESV concordance. You get a table of, you do get a table of weights and measures here. And then you get an ESV concordance. It's 2-column. Again, they use the red accents, which I really like. Doing a great job with all of that. Easy to find, easy to read, those sorts of things. And then, as always, they give you a beautiful set of Schuyler's Bible maps, which these are beautiful. They're on a nice textured paper. It's not like a glossy cardstock. You get some of these charts in here. I love these Bible maps. Schuyler's my favorite, probably my favorite set of Bible maps, and they have index. And then you do get a few blank sheets here if you wanted to turn this into some note paper or something like that. But overall, a very unique, different, they're trying to go with something that kind of complements the 2-column reference format in the Quentel series, and that's what this is. It's definitely different, and it's kind of that hybrid format between what we understand readers to be now and actually giving you some of the verses and things like that. I think it's really well done. So there you have it. That's the ESV Treveris from Schuyler Bibles. Beautiful Bible. They've done a great job with this typesetting for sure. I would love to know what you think. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the Treveris typesetting, what you think about the look and feel of the full yap for sure. Definitely leave me a comment about that. And definitely check out one another's comments and chat back and forth if you want to. You can visit BibleReviewBlog.com, where I have a full write-up of the ESV Treveris. I've got a bunch of great photos there. And in the description of this video, you can find links to where you can purchase a copy of the ESV Treveris, and anything else that I mentioned in this video. I'll put a bunch of links down there so you can do a little bit more digging on your own. Definitely check out Bible Review Blog on Instagram and Facebook. We have a great community out there. And while you're here on YouTube, hit that like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. That helps me reach more people. And definitely check out the other videos that I have on my channel. I have other Schuyler Bibles, other ESV Bibles, other reader Bibles like this. So definitely check out some of those videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.